Okay, I was lucky enough to find on eBay a Nobels ODR1 this year that seems to have seen very little use. It has seen quite a lot of use in the last few weeks. My buddy Jake has been using it. I think it'd be fair to say this is one of Tom Bukovac's favourite pedals, the ODR1 Guthrie Trap. There's loads of players, like it's sort of a no longer secret weapon of Nashville. These were originally made in Korea in the 90s, and yeah, they're kind of expensive now. I think I paid about 580 quid for it. But one of the things that I think, of course, if you're watching this, you'll be wondering is, can you get these sort of tones with other pedals? As you will know, Truefire sponsored this channel, but I wanted to just shout out that at the moment they're doing their best deal that they ever do, and a bit better. The All Access membership available for $79. All Access membership lasts a year. Basically, you can dip in and out of all of their courses on there, using players like Robin Ford, Andy Timmons, Tim Miller, etc, etc. Check out the link in the description if you're interested. Now, if you haven't already seen this video, there is actually a video where Tom Bukovac is testing out a bunch of pedals. I'll link that in the description. And by the end of it, he's actually picking the Nobels ODR Mini over the ODR1 in that specific situation with a Princeton and an SG in a blind test. And then at other stages, I think he definitely prefers the ODR1. So it's kind of in really decent sort of standing. Not only that, but it's on John Shanks' pedal board, or has been, who obviously is playing huge stages, but also he's got a Vemoram Shanks ODS1, which is a Vemoram version of the ODR1. So if it stands up with like a Vemoram pedal, and he's got originals of these as well, that's really pretty decent as well. As well as Sol Philcox Littlefield, who's a session player, who's actually like way up there in terms of, if you look at like charts for the amount of credits and actual, you know, streams. Sol has been like streamed billions and billions of times over the last few years, like playing on country records, like a really busy Nashville player. He's had a Nobels ODR on his board as well, so I wanted to grab one and just try it for myself. I don't have ears like any of those guys, but let's see what I can find out, and whether this little thing that cost me £52 on Amazon, I say cost me, my wife paid for it, so that was good of her, I should probably pay her back. The ODR Mini, if it can sound anything like the Nobels ODR1, or get me in that ballpark, I'll be super happy. I already have this, of course, so that's kind of my bias in this video. I'd like to be able to tell you that the ODR Mini sounds like an original ODR1. If I can't do that, I will also tell you that too. In case you were wondering, device A was actually the old Nobels ODR1. device B was the ODR Mini. Now if you take a look here, you'll probably notice that the spectrum is a fair bit lower on the ODR Mini. I think this was because I felt like the ODR Mini had quite a bit more bass, and so I don't know if these knobs are exactly the same. The thing that the spectrum thing does is pan between two kind of different EQ setups, so all the way up gives you like a smiley face EQ where you're boosting bass and treble, and all the way down is kind of boosting mids a bit. But yeah, I'd had to put them in a fairly different place, and I feel like for me what I was hearing as the difference, if you want an opinion, was like maybe the Nobels still had a bit more bass and was a bit more congested maybe sounding, whereas the ODR1 has a bit more clarity. It's maybe what I would say. And if I just increase the spectrum on the ODR Mini, that doesn't really help that, because it also increases the bass. It's a bit of a weird scenario. By the way, Sol Philcox Littlefield has a course on Truefire, which if you're interested in like the Nashville recording scene, he's a guy who moved from England to Nashville, is playing on all this stuff, amazing player, sick tone, and he's got a course on Truefire, which you could use the code JNC40 to get 40% off. Or at the moment they're running this super all access pass deal where you can get all access for the year for $79, which is like the best it ever gets. So jump in the description for that. Right, let's put these on the floor. Okay, so here we go. Deluxe reverb here. Kind of, we've got a mic pretty close. The volume's on 2. Put the treble at about 5. Clean, sounds like. I think this is quieter in terms of noise, seemingly. I'm not blessed with golden ears or anything like that, but I have to say in this particular case I'm quite impressed with the ODR Mini. I'm not necessarily finding that I'm preferring it to the ODR1, but I don't know how much of that might be down to sort of placebo. If I was really asked to pick between them, if someone else was dialing them in and I was not in charge of the switching, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be able to pick those apart. Let me know your thoughts in the comments if you were able to clearly tell a difference. But hopefully that helps you in terms of making a decision around the ODR Mini if you were on the fence about whether this was a pedal that was worth it or not. I picked one up for, as I say, 52 quid. I think for that kind of money, it's quite a lot of tone. And even if you did already have an ODR1, it's kind of one of those situations where it's like, I don't really want to take out that necessarily. The Mini might be a good bet.